back. So anyways, continuing on with some of our educational stuff here, we've talked about, and you've heard me stress this time and time again, backups, 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 backups. Always have a backup. If you're not doing a backup, if your hard drive fails, I might not be able to get this stuff off of it. Again, if it's a mechanical drive, if it fails, I might be able to get it through data recovery. I might not. SSDs, they fail. There's almost no chance. I'll attempt it, but there's no chance I can get the data off of it. So with Windows 10, if you've bought an external device, an external hard drive, they usually come with their own backup software. And if you want to use that, you can. But Windows 10 actually comes with two different backup softwares. Each do something a little bit different. So we're going to go into the control panel here. So the first one is file history. Let me find it here. Yeah, there it is, file history. Now what file history does, and this is for Windows 10, you won't find file history on any other version of Windows so far. What this does is when you turn it on, it will capture, and I've got a flash drive plugged in so you can see this. So what it does is it will capture your personal files, and if that's all you need to recover is your personal files, such as your files in your desktop, your documents, your music, your pictures, and your video, if that's all you want to capture, which is most times the most important stuff that's on your computer, you use that. And this can be changed to, and it's currently copying, and I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. You can select the drive, you can exclude it, you can go into advanced options, and this will do it every hour by default, or daily, or however you want to set it. But you leave the device plugged in every hour, it updates. Keep saved versions, it will keep multiple redundant copies. Most of the time it just overwrites the files, but you can set it to do that. Keeping your files until you need space. That's usually, once your hard drive is full or your flash drive is full, it starts deleting files. You can keep them forever, which is the default. And then, of course, you can go in and clean it up if you have to. And let's see what it shows. It stopped flashing on my computer, so let's look at File Explorer. And, of course, I have nothing on here, but as you can see, there's your configuration files. For data recovery, and then this is your actual data itself. And as you can see, that's everything in your user file. And let me compare that to, or show you the comparison. Whoops. Open up another File Explorer. When we do data recovery on a hard drive, that's actually good. Like if we're transferring files from an old computer to a new one, the user folder is what we grab. And under user folder is the usernames. And if you look, you'll see this is what they copied. Everything that's in your user folder. Generally, it doesn't capture the public stuff, so if you do have stuff in the public folder, you'll have to include that in your scan. So that's how file history works. And like I said, it's pretty good. It's consistent. It backs up every hour by default, provided the computer is on. If you're using a laptop, obviously, if the computer is not on, it won't do it. But if it detects the time difference more than an hour, as soon as your computer comes up and it's available, it will do the backup at that point. So this is file history. Like I said, it just captures your files. It does nothing else, nothing with the software. So if you've got, like down here, I've got LibreOffice installed and Office installed for, that purposes, and some other software, it does not capture your software. It only captures your files. So for everyday personal use, this is probably the easiest and fastest thing to do. For those who need to, like you've got a piece of software that you've had forever and you don't want to lose it, so maybe the other option is to use the Windows 7 backup, which is included in Windows 10. Again, going back into the control panel, and I believe it is called Backup and Restore Windows 7, yes. So you go in here and you set this up, and what this does is it not only backs up your personal files, but it takes a snapshot of your computer as well. And see, now it's asking, we would set this to the flash drive, system image can be saved, and that's because the system image, the it's a 60 gig hard drive that I'm using for the virtual machine. This is a 32 gigabyte flash drive, so obviously it can't do it. So your backup drive, if you're using the Windows 7, has to be the same size or bigger than what's on your hard drive. So in this case, it wouldn't do it, but you can do it, and you can set it up here, and it takes a snapshot image of your computer, and it will back up your software, it will back up your files, it will back up whatever is on your computer. It's there. So the advantage to that is that's what it does. And again, you have to have the drive capable of doing it. And then if you needed to restore those files later on, first thing you have to do is install the operating system, get to the diagnostic screen as I've shown you before, and you restore off of that, and it restores everything back to the way it was according to when the backup was created. So if your backup is out of date, you know, make sure you're doing those backups regularly, as I'm telling you. So you can save to a network drive, although you need another computer with an Ethernet connection or a Wi-Fi connection, and that other computer has to be set up to receive it. So I mean, it's one thing to do. I don't think it'll let me go forward. Yes, it will. So it'll let Windows choose, or you can choose for yourself. And if you go forward, like I said, it's going to back up newly created in libraries, and then there's your entire C drive. You can back it up. So kind of important to know. Again, backups are important. Do them often. For the most part, for everyday users, residential users, you know, just back up your files, and that will do it automatically for you if you're using file history. If you need something like in a business setting where you need the entire computer backed up, use the backup for the backup and restore for Windows 7. So just my thoughts on backup systems. Like I said, if you've bought an external hard drive, it usually comes with its own backup system. You can explore those options too. I don't have one to look at those options, but these are the two that are built into Windows 10, and they do a very good job. So, and like I said, and you can run both of those in tandem if you want to run both backup systems, just to make sure that you have all of your personal stuff and a system image too. So, and the system image, just to let you know, it doesn't run as frequently as the Windows history or the file history. File history, like I said, shows that it runs every hour by default, or you can set it for a different time. With the Windows 7 backup and recovery, I believe you could set that for daily. You could set it for shorter, but daily is the usually the shortest term you should do. But I think by default it's set for once a week. So just something to remember. So if you need to do disk images more frequently, change that time. And if once a week is fine with you, that's fine too. Just remember, like I said, on the once a week backup, I think by default is set for a Sunday, and I believe it is set for midnight. So if your computer is not on, or if your computer is asleep, the backup's not going to run. So you might want to change the date and time and the frequency to fit your personal schedule. So, but that's how you do backups on Windows 10. Both of those are great options. Really important, like I said, if you're bringing me a computer that is just went to crap, if you've got a backup, that really helps me, because then I can use those backups to recover files, especially if your hard drive has gone bad. We put a new hard drive in, and then we can just load up the operating system, click restore, and it can restore those files. So again, important to do that. Everyone should be doing them. If you're not doing it that way, like I said, there is Google Drive. Google Drive's got their own little thing. Again, it only does your personal files like file history. Carbonite can be set to do almost everything. Those are the two I'm aware of. There are some other ones, so just things to remember. So definitely back up your computers, back them up often. Hard drives fail, and if they fail, I may or may not be able to get the information off of them. So you guys have a great day. Share some